Hello everyone, this is your friend Shinobi Nexus 2.0 and we are back in new fanfic. What if Kakashi fell in love with the Bloodblade Princess Part 2? We're cousins, Sasuke. My mom and your mom were sisters. So cousins. Naruto said to a shocked Sasuke. I have family, how do I not know this? Why was it kept secret? Itachi said. Damas turned to the older Uchiha. Had the Uchiha clan elders found out, what would have become of your mother? Of the child of that marriage? Damas asked softly. Itachi's eyes widened. Mother would have been killed as well as any children from the union. Father would have been blinded and his hands removed. Itachi said. Sasuke and myself would have been killed very slowly. To keep the blood pure. Exactly. Fugaku and Makoto loved each other, like Minato and Kushina, married here in the cathedral. Konoha law states that any shinobi who marries in the sight of two other shinobis, the marriage is then approved by Konoha council. Rania said. Sasuke, Itachi, and Naruto looked at her. Sasuke was the first to ask. Who, besides the fourth and my father, could keep such a secret? It would have to be someone who could falsify documents and birth certificates. And someone who could reign in the council. Sasuke said. Rania quirked an eyebrow. Indeed, who in Konoha could do such? Rania asked as they turned to go to an area that they hadn't been to yet. All the shinobis were interested now. Kakashi I smiled. It could have been one of many clan heads, a daimyo, or someone with a lot of pull. But I'm not sure who. If Jiji were alive he could tell us. Naruto said. Who? The Uchihas asked. Jiji is what Naruto called the third Hokage. Pop was like a grandfather to him. Asuma said. This is so confusing. Naruto whined. Galen smiled softly. Perhaps, but I am sure soon those questions will be cleared up. Galen said upon reaching a garden doorway. Rania turned to face the crowd of shinobi. I was saving this as a surprise, but with the recent events, I think showing this to you now will be helpful. I think you will literally be surprised. Rania said, opening the large door. The shinobis filed in quietly, amazed by the beauty of the garden. Kurenai was the first to speak. Beautiful. I have never seen such an array. Are all these native to Velos? Some, Lady Kurenai, others were gifted as friendship gifts, but the garden itself is not the surprise. Thankx said. Rania led the group through the garden to a shaded area. The shinobis stopped cold, for there, seated in one of the many benches, was none other than the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Naruto and Konohamaru yelled. Jiji. Hello, Naruto, Konohamaru. The third said. He was instant KY wrapped in a hug, not from Naruto or Konohamaru, but from Tsunade, who had tears steaming down her face. Sensei, we thought Orochimaru killed you. How did you survive? Jiraiya said, clasping his teacher's shoulder. Well, let's just say that Minato tends to look after people even when Ise is no longer among us. It was you, Jiji. You faked Sasuke's mom's papers. Only you would have the power to do so. Yes, Naruto. But I didn't do it alone, did I, Hiashi? No, Hokage, you did not. Itachi looked at Hiashi with questioning eyes. It must be a teammate to witness the marriages. Minato, Fugaku, and I were teammates as well as best friends. I tried to adopt both Naruto and Sasuke, but the civilian council turned me down. So I watched over you as best as I could. Naruto didn't care about that. His Jiji was alive, he had cousins and Ba-chan. Life was good. But he had a chilling feeling that Danzo's puppets would be back, and this time they would once again be defeated. Hey, Jiji, want some ramen? Naruto asked. Hiruzen smiled. Of course. Konoha. What? Those were the best. Danzo send more root. I want Sasuke Uchiha and that brat killed. If I can't have his body, no one will. Put him in the bingo book. 10 million Ryo dead or alive. Orochimaru fumed. Yes, Lord Hokage. It will be done. However, the daimyo may need more money to help. Just do it. Kukukuku, I will see those brats dead if I have to do it myself. I want to be immortal and those brats are in the way. Danzy grimaced. Soon, Orochimaru, my PKAN will be complete and you will bow to me. I will control the nations and be a god. And all will bow to me. Danzo thought, disappearing into root headquarters, dream of a throne in his head. Rania stood quietly as Naruto, Konohamaru, Asuma, and the rest of the shinobis talked with the Sandaime. She was already deciding what to do about a certain root problem. A shadow shifted slightly to her left. Soon a figure appeared from the dark. You know you can't sneak up on me like that. I can always sense you, Varen. Doc released you? Rania asked a lanky man. He had a hawk-shaped nose, tan skin, and cream-colored hair. His eyes were a sunset orange. I was not trying to sneak up on you. I know better. Yes, my leg is healed enough for me not to be bedridden. I sent Honey home. The headmistress of the academy wants to speak with you. I do not know why. These are all shinobi. Varen signed. Rania nodded. Tell Jusa I'll meet with her shortly. Oh, Varen, Tsunade is with them. Rania said, smiling. Varen paled. Does she know Villas and I are here? She did leave us here for our own safety. Varen signed. Not yet. She hasn't had time to even think properly. Ah, here she comes. Stay put. Rania said. Tsunade was more or less stockhung up to Rania. Onks there, she looked at Rania with confusion. How do you pull it off? We found Sensei's body and everything. Tsunade asked the older woman. Rania smiled. Does a magician tell all his tricks? Rania said slyly. Tsunade humped and looked at the man next to Rania. He was familiar somehow, just as Villas was. Tsunade thought about it and then it hit her like a ton of bricks. Varen, Villas, I thought I told the two of you to keep in touch. Shizune thinks you're dead. I ought to punch your lights out. Now, Tsunade, don't be upset. We hardly ever knew where you were. You moved around a lot. Besides, I didn't ask Shizune to marry me, Villas did. He hasn't forgotten her, you know. Varen signed. Well, where is the runt? Tsunade fumed. Rania pointed to the tall, slightly built man beside Jiraiya. That's Villas. He grew up better than I thought. Ahem. I wonder if Shizune's noticed him. Tsunade said. Varen smiled. He is going over to her now. Villas to go see her, but things did not go as planned. He thinks about her all the time. Varen signed. Tsunade looked at him. And you know this how? I am his twin brother. I sense his moods. His love never wavered. Besides, I have my own wife now and I know how I feel when she is away from me for so long. Varen signed. Tsunade quirked an eyebrow. Really need to meet her. Tsunade grumbled. Rania smirked. You did. Remember Hunatus? She married Varen 7 years ago. Rania said. Tsunade smiled, looking at Shizune. She was totally unaware of Villas near her. Tsunade watched as Villas began to speak. Shizune, is it really you? Villas asked. Shizune turned from listening to the Sandaime talk about ramen with his followers. Shizune didn't recognize the man in front of her. She stared at him with intent in her eyes. Do I know you? Shizune said. Villas laughed. You don't remember me, she. The ring you wear on your left hand was a gift from me years ago. Remember now, Villas said. Shizune's eyes lit up. You called me she. Only my beloved Villas called me that. No. It's not possible. Villas. The one and only. All grown up. I am sorry but I see a, Villas began but Shizune silenced him with a kiss. Villas wrapped his arms around her waist with Tun sitting happily beside them. Sakura noticed the couple first. She tapped Ino. Wah! Way to go Shizune! Ino and Sakura yelled. Shizune broke the kiss off, blushing heavily. Sorry. I got carried away. Sorry, Lady Tsunade. Don't worry about it, Shizune. Where's the gaki? With Sandaime. I'm afraid it will be a while before they are finished. I can wait on them if you need to be elsewhere. Shizune said. Tsunade nodded. I'll be back shortly. I need to discuss some things with the headmistress of the academy here. Hopefully, I can get Aruka in as a teacher. I'll meet you at the compound in an hour. Tsunade said. Rania quirked her eyebrow at Tsunade. You are staying? Rania inquired as Shishi and Tsunade turned to go. Tsunade nodded. We had a meeting last night. All voted to stay. Konoha has fallen beyond repair. Besides, Naruto won't be harassed here. He'll be happy. I just wish I'd brought him here sooner. You know it's not easy for him being the jailer of Kyuubi. Most seen him as the fox. Tsunade said as they exited the garden. Ranya's face was passive but her mind fumed. It takes a fool to not understand the difference between a cell and a prisoner. Kyuubi was trusted by us, by my father, for years. What happened? Why did he go berserk? One answer is all I can think of. I'm older than you, Tsunade. You wouldn't remember him. But I remember the threats he made and I believe he's making good on Thai's threats today. Rania said, venom in her voice. Tsunade looked questioningly at her. Who? Madara Uchiha. Madara Uchiha, grandfather's friend turned enemy. Grandfather killed him at the Valley of the End. It's in the history books. Tsunade questioned. Rania shrugged. Call it a hunch. Besides, who else had motive or means to control Kyuubi? Rania questioned. Tsunade looked at her cousin. There was some truth to that but Tsunade doubted it was Madara. Rania stopped suddenly and turned around. You can come out now. I don't like it when people sneak around me. Rania said. Before Tsunade could voice her objections, a green blur jumped from the shadows. Your youth shines brightly today, lady. I have an interest in this academy. Their flames of youth must burn hot. Guy said, striking a thumbs up. Tsunade's sweat dropped and Rania laughed. If Jusa has anything to say about it, the flames of youth are learning to use their brains as well as their skills. I see no harm in you accompany us, Guy, however please mind your voice when we enter the academy. Jusa Satavi doesn't take too kindly to interruptions. Jusa Savati stared out over the students in front of her. For generations, the Savatas taught the children of the high royals all over the world. Some married into royal families, others left Ian their tenure was done. She'd been with her family in the high mountains far to the east when tragedy hit. Jusa's parents, siblings, aunts and uncles, all of them were slaughtered. The noble responsible for their deaths was incensed that the king refused to teach his children and sought to throw a coup. The coup was successful, the royals dead, but Jusa had been quick to escape with her niece, Neve, and the guards had underestimated her. Jusa's mother was from a strong warrior tribe who believed in knowledge but also having a defense against those who hated such. Jusa's siblings had not taken the training of their mother seriously so they fell easily. Jusa grabbed Neve and ran. Guards fell under her fists. She was almost to the coast when a man grabbed her. Flashback. Jusa was running with Neve in her robe. The guards were on her before she could reach the coast. Fear coursed through her. She was running so hard she didn't pay attention in front of her. Jusa collided with the chest of a man. She fell backwards, Neve, poking her head out, but was caught by the shoulders. She looked up at the large man. He towered over her. Sorry, lady, I mean no harm, the man said. A woman wearing a bright pink turban appeared beside him. Nate, you know your size isn't hard to miss but, the woman started to speak but was stopped. Halt. Give the woman and baby to us. She is wanted for teaching malicious information to children. The laid guard said. Jusa spat at him. The woman in pink looked dubious at that charge. Jusa spoke. Yes, teaching children the history of the land. Children that are no longer alive. These traitors murdered them. I am a Savati. My family has taught the children of the world for generations. But that is gone. Only me and my niece are alive. Monsters. Killing innocents. Jusa said, venom in her voice. Nate turned to the group. His partner merely looked at him. She lies. One man stated. Nate's iron black eyes landed on him. Nate knew then who was truthful. Scarlet, this a coup. These animals are murderers. Nate said. Skelet's stance changed from free to a martial art few outside the desert had seen. The guards were unsure until the leader spike. Kill them, he shouted. A volley of arrows would have turned them into pin cushions if not for Nate summoning wind around his body and turning it into thick ironclad armor. The guards were truly terrified. You're called ironclad. If you him then she's, flee. This woman, is Scarlet of the Flame. Flee. The lead guard said. 4 of said group ran only to run into a wall of iron. Really, boys? Nate can turn air into iron. What made you think that you cool escape? Ha ha ha, but I think you need to be purged of your sins. Killing babies. You created your future when you slaughtered those innocents. Now, perish in the fires of the lives you snuffed out. Flame art. Purging soul death. Skelet said. The men felt nothing. They began to laugh. Useless. Kill her. Ah. My heart. It burns. One screamed. A pink glow was seen in his chest. All the others were on their knees. Screams rendered the air as their hearts burned with pink fire. Scarlet's eyes never changed from TGE steely gaze. You are a monster. No, you are the children who died tonight. This is their act. HMMMPH, the best. Ha ha ha. That is one of my lowest powers. Now go face your afterlife. Scarlet said, turning away from the dying men. Nate had already captured the leader. Iron-encrusted legs ensured he wouldn't move. Scarlet, I did not kill him. Should we take our leave? Leave for the people to find. We are needed elsewhere. Scarlet said. Nate nodded. Wait, I would like to accompany yo. My niece and I need a new home away from here. Jusa said. Scarlet smiled. Of course. Velos is always needing new citizens. Besides, we are building an academy. We need teachers. And who could resist such a cute baby? What's her name? Scarlet asked. Neve. My sister was named Nevhai. Jusa said. Scarlet smiled. Shall we depart? The carriage is ready. Jusa cast her eyes on the great city for the last time, tears in her eyes. Goodbye, my family. End flashback. Jusa seen Rania and Tsunade coming to the field. A man in green was with them. Students, it is with the power of knowledge that you can build upon the fires of your hearts and souls. No matter your age, knowledge will burn like the fires of youth. So attend your classes, do your best, and always seek to learn. Dismissed. Jusa said. She approached the trio, noticing that the green-clad man had stars in his eyes. Heli, I'm Jusa Savati, welcome to the academy. She stopped as Guy got on his knees. Beautiful lady, would have dinner with me tonight? Our fires of youth burns brightly. Guy asked. Jusa smiled. I'd like to, but I have a niece to attend to and I. Jusa began. Guy sighed. Guy, perhaps you could take Lee as a companion for the girl. Tsunade said. Guy smiled. If Lady Jusa wishes it, a doable date will be most enjoyable. Lee is 12 years old. Neve is 11. Very well, Guy, I accept the invitation. It not often these people allow youth to shine. We will show that true youth shines. Until 7 tonight. Where may I pick you up? Guy asked. Jusa smiled. She turned and pointed to a small house. There. We will wait your arrival. NIW. Announce this shinobi teacher. When does he want to start? ASAP. Tell him to be here tomorrow 8 a.m. And his name? Uruka Uduai. Jusa nodded. She smiled. Now, I must attend to the students. Good day. Jusa said, heading to the building. Rania smiled as she and Tsunade left the grounds. Why are you smiling? Tsunade asked. I won a bet. Rania said. Tsunade smirked. Kakashi owes me $500. Tsunade laughed. Danzo sat to the side of his Hokage. Root members filled the room. Orochimaru crackled. Kukuku, Danzo, the citizens are happy. Shinobi are happy. All we need know is to place a bounty on Sasuke and Naruto. Soon, I'll have all the power I need. Konoha will be feared. Orochimaru hissed. Danzo smiled. Finally true power. My lords. 2 unidentified emissaries demand to speak to you. Our guards are holding them. A breathless ninja said. Kukuku, let them in. Who can hold up to the might of the Snake Sanin and the Shimura clan? Orochimaru hissed. Danzo smirked. A ninja escorted 2 very strange-looking men into the room. One had ice-blue eyes, tan-skinned, and light blue hair. He stood 6 feet tall. His companion was as tall as he but had sharp green eyes, pale skin, and had auburn hair. Danzo Sensef no threat. What brings you to this humble village? Danzo asked. The first man answered. I was under the impression that the Hokage addressed ambrasters from other nations. However, I want to be on my way home soon, so I'll answer. We are here to gather a tribute that has been owed to our home for a few centuries. This missive I am holding states that TGE tribute does not have to be paid unless the last of the Senju no longer has any ties to the village. Tsunade Senju was removed as Hokage and banished. As this has occurred, the tribute must be paid. If it is not, we reserve the right to take slaves from this village. The man stated. His companion watched carefully. Danzo paled. Orochimaru smirked. May I ask your names? So I may address you properly. Danzo said. The men nodded. My name is Saman Blight. My quiet companion is called Nash. No last name. My leader demands this tribute be paid. Saman said. Danzo was freaked out. Caption Blight's son. Nephew. Danzo. Pay them. It's money easy to replace. Orochimaru said. Danzo looked at the amount. 400 billion ryo. Danzo paled. It would cut the money they had to a third. But if Danzo wanted to rule, he had to obey. Danzo motioned for his Anbu to take the scroll to the treasury. Saman watched carefully. Within a few moments the doors opened to reveal a man carrying a large scroll. 400 billion ryo. All counted. The man said. Saman walked over to the scroll. His hand rubbed over the seal. He quietly deactivated the tracking tag and just you hidden within. Nash walked beside him. All seems to be in order. Good day. Oh yes, I have a message for you. Nash, if you please. Saman said, placing the scroll on his back. Don't follow us. Don't attack us. For the Lord of Nightmares will destroy those you attack, those who harm his allies, and his wrath is feared among the nations. This is the only warning you will receive. Nash said, his voice clear and deep. The men looked bored. Be gone. Good day. Nash, our transport awaits. But heed the warning. Saman said. Danzo made a silent move. The men poofed away. Clones. Find them. Danzo ordered route. 6 ninja ran out the door, though the gate and into the woods. The root squad were sure that they quarry would be easy to catch. Spread out. Bring them back to Danzo. The leader said. Soon a loon of ninjas were formed. That were nearing the 1/3 point when a laugh rang out. Predictable. I suppose you want this back. Well, I suppose Nash and I will have to show you why we are called the Death Duo. Saman said. Nash walked out of the trees. Root charged. Saman sighed. Stupid waste of life. Saman said as 3 including the leader charged him. Saman began hand seals. Blade summoning just you. Blades of Blight. Saman intoned. In a puff of smoke, 2 metal katanas appeared. The root slowed. Saman now held the 2 swords in each of his hands. The leader wasn't impressed. Kill him. Kaden. Erg. One screamed. Saman laughed. He had merely grazed the ninja Yeta quickly across his body. The leader motioned for the other ninja to attack with him. Water style. Water prison. Earth style. Great breakthrough. Really. A water and earth based just you. Very well. Blade art. Ultimate corrosive flames. Saman said, pointing on blade towards the sky and the other to the ninjas. They shrugged it off until they felt a power amassing. Flames blacker than any they seen came from the top of one blade and through the other. The root felt a burning sensation but nothing more. They laughed. Saman smiled. Burn. Laughter became screams as the black burned them. Saman turned his head to check on Nash. Seeing Nash was getting ready to finish, Saman saw on a tree branch and waited. With Nash. Nash smiled. Only 3. Nash grinned. 3 stood in front of the man. We are Donzo's best. You will surrender to us. 1 smirked. Charging. Nash grabbed the man by the neck. A grim smile lit his face. Soon the root found himself face down in the dirt. We have an appointment to keep, so I'll finish you quickly. Desert art. Burning sandstorm shedder. Nash said, making a few in-handed signs. 3 root members were charging, then they felt a strong wind, immense heat, and stinging skin. Steams once again ripped through the area. The root nin's bodies were being burnt and shedded into nothing. I hated to use that. Saman, we better hurry. Our ride will leave us. Let's go, the stink is getting to me. Saman said. The 2 men left the area unaware that a busty woman with auburn hair was watching them. So you did escape. Maybe I can get the refugees safe passage. The 4th is killing at will. I need to get the bloodline users to safety. Then we can have a true chance at life. The woman thought as she left the clearing, a plan forming in her mind. Velo's early afternoon. Rania and Tsunade walked towards the ninja compound. Tsunade had just finished up with Headmistress Savati. Rania was strangely quiet. Are you staying in Velo's? Rania asked Tsunade. Tsunade sighed. The clan heads are all for staying here, but I just wanted to give them time to understand their choice. Most of them lost everything but kept their families and pride intact. Hiyashi is the one who surprised me. I figured he would have stayed in Konoha. Tsunade said as they rounded a corner. Rania looked at Tsunade. Hiyashi Hyuga, you know he believes in family. You also know that the cold exterior he showed to the Hyuga clan elders was just that. Besides, I don't think Hitomi's ghost would like that her daughters as test subjects. Rania said, turning a corner. She could see that they were still gathered around the 3rd. Amazing how one man could inspire so many. We were lucky that 2 of my spies were in Konoha when Orochimaru attacked. Rania said. Tsunade nodded. She knew that Orochimaru had designs on Konoha. She feared that the Hidden Leaf Village was a thing of the past. Her grandfather's vision had been turned into a nightmare. She'd hated the village for so long, blamed them for the death of Nawaki and Dan. She'd been proven wrong by Naruto, who showed her the light. Tsunade sighed softly. You can't change the past, Tsunade. The will of fire lives within a person's heart and soul. Besides, you know yourself that Naruto could possess other abilities, like myself. Rania spoke softly. Tsunade's brown eyes met her blue-red. Damn, she's right, Tsunade thought. Rania smiled as a young Kunyuchi came up to them. Lady Tsunade, the T3rd would like to speak to you, the Kunyuchi said. Tsunade smiled. But first, Rania Sangru meet Hinata Hyuga, Hiyashi's eldest daughter. Tsunade said. Rania smiled as Hinata bowed. Shy just Hitomi. Pleasure to meet you, Lady Rania. Thank you for allowing our family and friends to live here. Hinata said. Rania returned her smile. We are always looking for new friends and allies. Velos is a city made up of many cultures, beliefs, and people. Just wait till the season of festivals begins next month. Parties every night in celebration of Christmas. There are also many other celebrations during this time. Oh, I just thought about something. You ladies are going to need dresses for those occasions. Well, we'll attend to it after lunch. Care to join me, Hinata? Rania asked. Hinata looked at the older woman uncertain. She's so confident, like Naruto. Maybe she can help me. Hinata. Yes, Lady Rania. I would like to join you for lunch. I would like to ask you some questions while we eat. Hinata said. Rania looked ahead. The rest of the shinobi were heading to the ramen stand. Rania smiled. Hinata, do you like steak? Konoha, Orochimaru, we need this alliance with Mist. We can take them over later. Danzo said, eager for the secrets that the Mist Nins held. Orochimaru cackled. Take the alliance, Danzo. The rebellion has won. The council has fallen and Ame Terumi is now cage. Take the alliance and destroy yourselves. I'll wait on my spy to report on my so-called teammates' demise. They should return soon. Orochimaru hissed. Danzo grimaced. Mist Nins would have been nice to turn into Root Nins, but that was out of the question now. The large door opened wide. Lord Orochimaru, a visitor for you and Danzo. Shall I send them in? A sound Nin replied. Yes. Send your visitor in. Kukuku. Orochimaru hissed. Then Nin disappeared and reappeared with a cloaked figure. Danzo activated his stolen eye but seen nothing wrong with the visitor. Orochimaru of Konoha, I've been asked to speak to you regarding the matter of a mass exodus of Nins of high rank. I assume you are the Hokage. Yes, I have my rightful place. Orochimaru smiling. The cloaked man nodded. My master wishes that you cease and desist all efforts to go south. Failure to do so will result in casualties on your part. My master also wishes to return this to you, a gift of sorts. Any further action taken against said shinobis will result in the same end. If you continue to assault thighs who are protected by another nation, actions will be taken. The cloaked man said. Orochimaru hissed. Who do you think you are? Konoha bows to no one. We are the ultimate power. Danzo roared. The cloaked man said nothing. He turned around and opened a small box. He threw 6 scrolls on the ground. What these contain is a warning to you all. My master sent me to ensure the point got across. I am leaving now. After all, I still have duties to perform for my master. Good day. The cloaked figure said. Danzo reached to reveal his eye but the cloaked man poofed away. A clone. Danzo thought. Anbu, open these scrolls. Danzo yelled. 6 Root opened the scrolls. There, perfectly preserved, were the bodies of all his Root captains. Their eyes were missing, empty sockets stared ahead. Their hands had been broken and maimed beyond repair. Their bodies were covered with strange burns patterns and their lips stitched shut. Danzo stared in horror, Orochimaru in amazement. These were his best, trained since birth to be killers. Who and how? Danzo opened his mouth to give the order to remove the bodies when one sat up. His mouth had not been sewed shut for a reason. He began to speak. You have trespassed on sovereign land of another nation. You like having the blood of soldiers running on your hands. I have sent your best to you to send a lasting message. The walls that are stained white will run red with the blood of men who followed a fool. Their deaths will forever be remembered as the wall run red. The corpse said, his body and the others expanding. Blood ran out of the bodies. The outside walls of the tower turned blood red. The Nins and civics screamed as blood appeared to run down the walls. Root tried to clean the walls but the blood wouldn't be removed. Danzo and Orochimaru looked at the bodies now devoid of blood. Orochimaru was going to experiment on them until they heard a voice laughing on the wind. The bodies were laughing. Body explosion. The corpse said. All 6 bodies exploded in a mass of guts. The once pristine office of the Hokage was now a blood red. Orochimaru's eyes narrowed in anger. Find them all. He yelled as his clothing and Danzo's was blooded. Both had the same thing on their mind. Who possesses this kind of power and how do I control them? Far away, on a ship, the cloaked man laughed. He loved it when people like that was brought down a peg or two. HW couldn't believe it when he heard what happened. His master and himself wanted to teach TGEM a lesson. People like that almost cost him his master. Until his master's distant relative stepped in and killed them. They then moved where they could be closer and judged less. Taking a watch from his pocket, the figure noted the time. 5 minutes till dinner. He was always on time. After all, he was one hell of a butler. Velos. Rania led Hinata to a small cafe. As they entered, Hinata could smell meat cooking. She'd always eaten whatever someone put in front of her. Rania stood for a moment before a young woman appeared from the back. "Oh, Lady Rania, who is your friend?" the woman asked. Hinata looked at the woman. She was about 18 and was dressed for hosting. "This is Hinata Hyuga. She is staying in Velos for now. I hoping they will stay longer than a few days. I thought I'd treat her to the best steak in Velos," Rania said with a smile. The woman smiled. "You are kidding. Besides, I know we don't have the best anything. We are simple cooks." "Oh, where are my manners? My name is Tara Aki. My family owns this small cafe. Please sit down." "Your usual, Lady Rania," Tara said. "Yes. Hinata, what would you like?" Rania said. Hinata seemed a bit shy. "Everything is so expensive," Hinata thought. Tara stood quietly waiting for Hinata to decide. Hinata looked unsure. "If it's the prices you looking at, don't worry about them. I make a good salary and can easily afford this. Besides, I did say I would treat you to lunch," Rania said smiling. Hinata nodded. "I'll have a small steak, well done, potatoes with sour cream, and salad," Hinata said. Tara jotted it down and turned on her heel to give the order to the cook. In a few minutes, Rania and Hinata were alone. Hinata began to speak softly. "Lady Rania." "Yes, Hinata. How does one get to be confident like you?" "I've tried but failed more than once," Hinata asked. Rania looked at Hinata with questions in her eyes. Rania thought for a moment then spoke. "You have to have faith in yourself and your abilities. Confidence comes from more than being able to complete a mission or defeating someone else. It comes from knowing to did your best, and if the best isn't good enough, it makes you strive to be better. Hinata, I can tell that you didn't lack confidence. What you lack is a fighting style that is better suited to you. I know of the gentle fist style and you are simply not suited for it. Sure, you can perform the 8 trigrams attacks, but can you perform Kaden? Your style is like the river that flows through the woods. Fluid, yet deadly. I know of a fighting style that would be perfect for you. I myself mastered it. I will be willing to teach it to you if you do something for me in return," Rania said. Hinata looked at Rania, her eyes intently watching Rania. "What do you want me to do, you, Lady Rania?" Hinata said. Rania smiled. "For starters, don't fight your sister. I know your father thinks that you fighting your sister shows weakness because you lose, but this is Velos. One more thing, start eating more. I know Gurks watch their weight, but to be a true fighter you need to practice and train. You need fuel to do so. Now do we have a deal?" Rania said. Hinata smiled softly. "Yes, Sensei, I can do those things." "Good. Ah, the food is here. Tell me, Hinata, do you like cinnamon buns?" Rania asked. Hinata grinned. "Konoha, you sent for us, Lord Orochimaru." The Sound 3 said. Orochimaru had recreated them except for Kimiro and Tanuya. Jugo, Kidomaru, and the two-headed freak stood at attention. "Yes. Go south and destroy anyone who gets in your way. Bring me the Uchiha alive. Go. Failure is death," Orochimaru hissed. The 3 disappeared. Orochimaru grinned. "Finally, the brat will be my new body and the ultimate power will be mine." Orochimaru cackling in the bloodied room. Revenge was going to be his at last. Underneath Konoha, Root was mobilized. Danzo stood in front of his army. "Fu, Torun, go with the Sound Nins and bring me all information and bodies if possible. Root will be the supreme army in all the elemental nations. I will not have a false nation claiming such power as they have. That power belongs to Konoha. Go, and bring my tribute," Danzo said to his 2 top operatives. "Yes, Lord Danzo," the group chorused. Fu and Torun bowed and poofed away. Danzo smiled. "Finally, the power to control nations will be mine," Danzo thought. He went to his office and proceeded to look over the new, Rikets, unaware of a moving shadow that ran also the floor and out the underground bunker. Once outside, the shadow took the form of a small bird-like creature with a spiked tail. Quickly the beast took to the sky, going south to report to his master so YHAT they would know the attack was coming. The bird flew faster than most thought. Within the hour, the beast was at the consulate. Danik walked to the window and opened it for the creature to enter. Master, the Old One is sending his two best as well as the Sound Three. They have been tasked with taking Sasuke and any power they deem fit. I believe also that Danzo wants some bodies for experiments. What are your orders? The beast said. Danik growled. No one threatened his home or family. Danik looked out the window to see Rania coming up the steps. He exited the room and met Rania at the steps. Where have you been? Danik asked softly. Rania smiled. Well, I knew you had a lunch with some officials from the Merchants Guild, so I had lunch with Hinata Hyuga. I'm going to teach her some styles that more to her own style. What's wrong? Didn't Seal relay the message? Rania asked. Danik nodded. Yes. Seal is on his way home now. Danzo has sent his two best as well as the Sound Three to assault our coast. More than likely they will have cursed soldiers with them. So, as Velos is head of military, what are your orders? Danik said. Rania grinned. Not one of her mirthful smiles, but in that promised a lot of pain to someone. Danik returned her smile. Maybe the bloody hellion needs to make an appearance. After all, I haven't been on Fire Country soil in a while. I think I'll take you, Scarlet, Nate, Trent, and Jana with me. It's time that we start pulling corruption out by its roots, no? Rania said with that smile on her face. Danik grinned even wider. The day after tomorrow was going to be fun. Later that day, Jusa was preparing for her date with Guy. Neve was shy. Aunt Jusa, what if his student doesn't like me? No one else does. Neve said. Jusa looked at her niece. A carbon copy of her father with light blonde hair and hazel eyes. Her fair skin completed the look. She, like Jusa, was slender yet showing growth in obvious areas. Jusa always hated the fact her chest was D-sized. It made teaching boys a little harder, especially when they were taught women or objects. Luckily, Velos did not support such behavior, neither did her academy students. Adding a shinobi class to the academy would benefit many children. She had met with Iruka Yumino and was pleased at his dedication to teaching. He would fit in perfectly with the other instructors. Her only concern was the purple-haired woman who accompanied him. Her eyes said, "Back off, he's mine." Jusa asked Iruka who she was, and he had introduced her as Anko Mitashi, a fellow shinobi. Jusa noted the name. Aunt, it's almost time. Are you sure that my clothes are proper? I don't want him to think that I am not friendly. Neve said. Jusa smiled. Neve, what is our family motto? All things can be seen though the power of knowledge. Neve said softly. Jusa looked at her. The power of knowledge. So little faith in learning. The power of knowledge burns within us all. Neve shouted, smiling. Jusa smiled as a knock sounded on her door. Jusa opened the door to reveal Guy and Rock Lee standing there. Each had a bouquet of flowers for their date. Neve walked out from behind Jusa. Lee's eyes fell in her. Before either adult could say anything, Lee was on his knees with hearts in his eyes. I do not know your name, beauty, but your youthfulness is shining brightly. Yosh, I will make this evening one for you to remember. I am humbled that you would go out with me on a youthful night such as this. Lee exclaimed, making Neve blush. She took the flowers. They were her favorite daisies. She smiled. My name Neve Savati. What is yours? She asked. Lee smiled. Rock Lee, he said a little quietly. Guy stepped in. Lee, I think it's time we go to dinner. There we can show our dates how youthful life can be. Guy said. Lee nodded. Tonight is going to be wonderful, Jusa thought. She allowed Guy to lock her door for her, and then arm in arm, the two duos left for an interesting evening. Across Velos, in the shinobi compound, the clans had gathered for a final decision on staying in Velos. Tsunade was hoping for a full vote of yes. She began to speak. As you are all aware, we can make a new life for ourselves and our children here in Velos. With the Sandaime being here, I think it wise to stay. We can nurture our young into fine warriors. If any clan or persons wishes to leave, speak up. Su ye we stay, nay we go. Hiashi, you first. Tsunade said looking at the Hyuga Vlan head. Hiashi's pale eyes showed nothing. Lady Tsunade, it is my wish that my children and clan members with me grow to their full potential. I vote for staying. This can be a jome to us Hyugas without the dreaded caged bird seal that has drove my clan apart due to misuse. Hiashi said. Shinchi Abruame spoke. I agree with Hiashi. We can truly teach our children the will of fire. Our colonies felt a change in Konoha. He said. Tsunade nodded. I, too, vote for staying. There are many opportunities here. Inochi said. Shikaku looked up. It would be too troublesome to relocate where we have not been invited. We stay. Shikaku said. Choza nodded. I agree with my teammates. The Akikimi stays. The large man said. Tsunade knew the Inoshika Cho trio would agree to this. Tsune Inazuka looked thoughtful. We stay with the pack. Sadly, most of my clan stayed behind. We stay. Lady Tsunade, who speaks for the civilians? Sum asked. Momo Harano stepped forward. All civilians have agreed to stay. Many are already looking at businesses and schools for their children. Momo spoke softly. Tsunade smiled. Well, since we are staying in Velos, we will need a new symbol for our shinobis. I will inform the consulate tomorrow of our decision. Good night. Tsunade said ending the meeting. All persons began to file out and tell the news to their families. Hiashi stopped and turned to Tsunade. Lady Tsunade, do you think that we can find a way to remove the seal from my clansmen? Hiashi asked. Tsunade looked thoughtful. I'll see if Rania knows someone who can help. I am going to the consulate tomorrow. Tsunade replied. Hiashi nodded and left. Hiashi walked down the corridor to the area in which his family occupied. Opening a door, he found Neji sitting in a chair with Hinata. Neji was still weak and unable to practice, but this gave him time get closer to his sister's cousins. Hinata was playing shogi with him to help pass the time. Neji noticed Hiashi first. Lord Hiashi, welcome. I hope the meeting went well. Neji greeted formally. Hiashi blanched but answered Neji's statement. The clans voted for staying here and becoming a part of Velos. I have spoken with Lady Tsunade about finding a way to remove the caged bird seal. Hopefully, we can once again be a family. Hiashi said. He then began to address the gathered members. As of today, I hereby banish the use of the caged bird seal. From this day onward, we will be true Hyugas. There will no longer be a branch and a main family, but one family. Like the mighty oak, we will stand stronger as one, as Velosian shinobis, Hiashi said. The branch members were weeping and the few main members were clapping. In the office that Tsunade held her meeting, she and Jiraiya were smiling. Tomorrow a new shinobi would rise from the ashes, a Velosian shinobi. Mighty Guy was nervous. Jusa and Neve were as passionate about learning as he was about youth. Jusa was almost too perfect for him. I cannot mess this up. My rival Kakashi would laugh at me, plus I would lose a wonderful person. Guy thought as they entered the opera house. Lee was talking in a quiet voice with Neve about learning new techniques. Neve was absorbing all information like the student she was. Guy had never been to an opera, but when having dinner Jusa had told them how the story was told through song, he became interested. So they were going to see the Phantom of the Opera on opening night. Lee, it's full of mystery, romance, and action. It's a love story, yet it is still mysterious. I read the reviews. It sounds beautiful, but it's told in song. Neve said. Lee perked up. Guy, arm in arm with Jusa, returned his smile. The curtain was going up and the crowd got silent as the director came out to greet the audience. The four companions settled in and watched the show. In the consul's office, Rania, Danik, and Galen were planning a different show for a different audience. I think we ought to go to Fire Country and beat some sense into the unit Orochimaru is sending. Danik said. Rania spoke. If we do that, then Fire Country could declare war on us. Galen, allow them to get to Veloz's holdings in the ocean. If they land there and cause trouble, then I will personally handle them. Danik said that Orochimaru is using cellular research to keep them alive. Danok's body implosion killed one of them, so I think I can handle the other three. Besides, they won't be looking for me to be there and they will have orders to gather experiments. It's time we send Orochimaru a real message. Taking out his elites will certainly shake the core. Root will send their best too. I can easily win against them. Rania said, eyes blazing. Galen was seated behind his desk. He knew Rania could do this, but she wasn't going alone. Who is going to accompany you? Galen asked. Rania smiled. Well, Danik can't because he's got to meet with Counselor Kosser about the North Merchants' attacks, so I was hoping a certain person would like to get out from their office for a day or two. Rania said, smiling at Galen. Galen's green eyes glowed. Rania laughed. I think I can get the meeting with Kosser held off. Maybe it is time that the enemy learns that when you stir a hornet's nest, you get stung. Galen said. Danik grinned. Rania gave a laugh that could chill the hardest of warriors. Orochimaru would be needing new commander after tonight. Without warning, a gray-clad boy rushed in. Lord Consul, the Isle of Adras is being attacked by Konoha. The civilians are fleeing but the forces are losing ground. Your orders? The courier asked. All three stood up. Galen picked up his Ling sword and placed it on his hip. Rania and Danik already had their weapons. Tell the forces to pull back to safety. We three will handle this. Put the enforcers on alert too. We depart now. Galen said as a black ball covered them. The boys shot off to do as the consul ordered. In less than a minute, Rania, Galen, and Danik were in the middle of a destroyed village. Galen's green eyes burned with a hidden fire. Rania's eyes were now a burning blood red, and Danok's were a deadly red-black. The Sound Three were laughing as civilians ran for their lives. Our Hokage will be pleased. More bodies. More life. Kidomaru laughed. Well, if it isn't Spider Freak and his little band of misfits. Danik said. Kidomaru whirled. You killed Kimmario. I'll kill you. He roared. Danik smiled. I didn't come alone. After all, you need more than one cat to slaughter a nest of vermin. At those words, Ranian and Galen emerged from behind him. The Sound Three felt something they hadn't felt in a long time. True fear. The Sound Three shook in fear. Tanuya could hardly get her flute to her mouth. She began to play a melody to place the three warriors under a genjutsu. Rania felt a change in the air. She turned toward Tanuya. The girl had orange hair and had yet to activate her curse seal. Rania laughed. A flutist who weaves genjustice. No contest. They have no affect on us. Now are you going to stand there or are you going to fight? Or serenade us to death? Oh, and your summoning won't work on us. Rania said, a Cheshire smile on her face. Tanuya fumed. You bitch. I'm going to #% you up. I don't care if you are a powerful so-and-so. No one insults my power. Tanuya shouted. Rania still had that grin on her face. Tanuya began to play again, but before she could even get the first note off, Rania was in front of her. Rania grabbed the flute, forcing Tanuya to look at her. Blood-red eyes stared into brown ones. Rania smirked. You have opened a door that you can't close. You are blinded by power. Now learn a powerful lesson and forget your powers. Rania whispered. Tanuya shivered with fear. Rania then released her intent. Tanuya, a follower of Orochimaru, fell to her knees. Such ki. Tanuya thought. Bitch. Tanuya spat. Rania shook her head. There was no way to save her dark heart and soul. Rania could sense that she joined Orochimaru willing. Only one fate was going to be hers. Very well. I think this farce has gone on long enough. I'll let you in on a little secret. Rania whispered. Tanuya struggled against Rania's ki. Tanuya looked up at the taller woman. What's that, bitch? I'm the bloody hellion, and this is your end. Rania whispered. Tanuya shook with fear. That name was feared by shinobi of all nations. She knew that she had lost. Blood right. Bloody Senbon Rain X5. Rania said while still holding the girl's arm. Tanuya felt nothing. She decided that this was a bluff and began to laugh. Rania released the girl's arm and turned away. Tanuya's laugh echoed over the field for a moment until it was replaced by a scream. Rania turned to face the girl who was screaming. That bitch. What the hell did she do? My blood feels as though it has thousands of needles in it. Wait. Oh hell, she's using my blood to create Senbons. Which means AAAAAARRRRGGGGGHHHH. Tanuya thought. Why? You use blood chakra to kill me. Tanuya said painfully. Rania smirked. Yes. And all the root that came with you. You see, the Senbons coming out of you will kill you. But when I go ×5, they fly out of your body, killing your companions. Oh, your heart and brain are the last to go. You see, child, the Enloid chakra I use erases SNY memories of our encounter. So, even if there is anything left of you, no one besides me will know how you died. And your companions can't help you because they are under your spell. Reversing the spell, they are locked in reveals your death, nothing more. Besides, you betrayed your own family to Orochimaru for power. A cardinal sin in the clan. For such actions, death is warranted. Fly forth and destroy all root. Rania said as Tanuya screamed. Thin rivers of blood streamed from every pore, becoming thin needles ready to kill. Tanuya had gone silent, her tongue robbed of blood. Her mouth forever frozen in a scream as her organs liquefied and became deadly weapons. As promised, her brain and heart were the last to go, but Rania kept those to Senbons, a wicked smile on her face. She turned to the corpse and spoke once more. Body destruction art. Evaporation of souls. Rania said. Blood-red vapor melted anything that could be used to revive the fallen nin. Quickly, Rania hid the two Senbons and dispelled the spell. Tanuya, what have you done with her, bitch? Jirobo said. Rania smiled. I gave her a choice. She chose death. Now she privied no contest, but my fight isn't with you. I need to destroy two roots that are pains. So, gentlemen, I'll take my leave of this battle royale. Have fun, Rania said to Galen and Danik. The men smiled. Kidomaru spoke. The big guy's mine. I owe him for Kimiario. You take Snobby. Okay. Don't care as long as I get to kill. Jirobo said, activating his mark. Nothing happened. What? Jirobo said. Galen laughed. Jirobo looked at the console. Curse marks. Tied to your blood, correct? Galen said. Kidomaru and Jirobo nodded. The console laughed again. Our friend blocked your marks from activating. Now, we don't have time to play with you, so we are going to end this battle in one shot. Galen said. Danik had already taken up position in front of Kidomaru. Dark art. Avenging souls. Danik called out. A shadowy figure emerged from Kidomaru's chest. Kidomaru stood still. The figure then took on the form of Kidomaru's first kill. Kidomaru laughed. My hag of a mother. Do your worst. Kidomaru said. The figure, smiling, plunged her shadow hand in his chest and grabbed his heart. Kidomaru still laughed. The shadow spoke. I am going to do to you what you did to me. It said. Kidomaru looked blank. The shadow spoke again. You betrayed your family. You ripped my heart out and tore it to pieces. Now, I return the favor. The shadow then ripped Kidomaru's heart, still beating, from his chest. Kidomaru, blank-faced, watched with dying eyes as the shadow tore his beating heart to millions of pieces. Kidomaru, bleeding to death, sank to his knees then hit the dirt, dead. Danik dispelled the soul back to the realm of limbo. Galen, waiting for Jirobo to attack, called forth his power. Jirobo was big, yes, but none could stand the power Galen wielded. Moonlight blade art. 1,000 blades of death. Galen said pointing at Jirobo. Jirobo, fear in his eyes, began to run. He never got 10 paces before the moonlight became razor-thin blades, slicing the flesh from him. Strings of light held him down as millions of tiny blades shredded him. Soon, Jirobo looked like chopped liver. Galen looked at the nins shaking his head. Meanwhile, the few root who had SKO'd the Senbons were running for cover. Rania smiled. She then removed the 2 Senbon from her pouch. Bloody Senbon art. Bloody death, she said. The 2 Senbon then multiplied into millions. They pierced tree, stones, whatever root nin hid behind. In a short moment, all root were dead and their bodies nothing more than bones. Except one. Torun looked at the slaughter. The lady in red looked at him. He wasn't scared or nervous. She spoke. You know, Torun, Danzo is going to wonder what happened to you. Root is no longer a threat to Velis, so won't rejoin your clan. Velis has made a special antitoxin for those who are your friends. I know you want to kill Danzo, but we need to prepare. Besides, I don't want one of my BSST spies dying on me. Here comes Galen and Danik. Rania said. Torun smiled. Yes, lady, I wish to go to my clan. If you are leaving now, I will depart with you. Just make sure Lord Danik can undo this seal. Torun replied. Danik placed his hands on Torun's shoulders and purged the root seals from his body. Galen spoke. Let's go home. Early morning in Konoha, Danzo sat in his chair waiting for his root to reappear. He had sent out his best root to aid the sound nins. No word had arrived yet, but Danzo expected it within the hour. Orochimaru was waiting in the Hokage's office, now red-walled. Soon, a tapping could be heard from the window. Orochimaru turned and noticed a root member throwing pebbles to get his attention. A cold smile shone on his face. Let the root nin in and tell Danzo his message has arrived. Kukukuku, it's a great day. Orochimaru cackled. Danzo was shown into the room as his root nin entered as well. Report. Did the attack go as planned? Danzo barked. The root nin spoke. All lost, all dead. Their bodies sealed in here. Lord Danzo, none survive. The root nin said. Danzo and Orochimaru fumed. Show me. Danzo shouted. The nin opened the sound nin scrolls first. Danzo puked. Tanuya was nothing more than dried out flesh over bone, her mouth forever in a silent scream. Kidomaru was hardly a corpse, and Jirobo was a mass of gunk. How? Orochimaru screamed. The nin shook his head. I was the last to report because of my tardiness. Fu made me stay as messenger. All root were slaughtered by Senbons. Their bodies have pricked marks, but whoever did this took the Senbon with them. Get out. Danzo, I want this dealt with. Who has the power to kill such as mine nins? Orochimaru yelled. Danzo was shaking. Only one name, the Bloody Hellion. Danzo said in fear. Orochimaru whirled around. That name is a legend. A myth. Orochimaru said. Danzo gave Orochimaru a cold stare. That display a few days ago was no myth. The Bloody Hellion exists. Iowa has him in their bingo books as flee on sight, kill on sight, a SSSS rank. A bounty over 900 billion ryos leading to the death of this myth. He along with the Mortonera slaughtered the entire shinobi force that Ukni sent within 2 minutes. Iowa hasn't recovered. They still fear that name. So, how do you kill a myth? Danzo said. Iokimaru hissed. Find out who this Bloody Hellion is. Place a 100 million bounty on his head. Orochimaru yelled. Danzo nodded. We could use this to ally with Iwa and Kumo. Their enemy is our enemy. Shall I send Nins to ask for an alliance? Danzo hissed back. Orochimaru smiled. Yes, send them out. We will crush this fool for messing with Konoha. Orochimaru hissed. Soon, two small groups of Nins were headed to Iwa and Kumo. Neither team would make back. A shadow moved in the forest faster than the eye. Team Iwa had left first, so they were ahead of the Kumo team by an hour. The Jonin leader was running in front of the two Chunins. The shadow pulled up in front of them, stopping their progress. The Jonin spoke. Move aside. We have a mission to finish. He said. The others were waiting for the leader to attack. My, what a way to greet someone. Very rude, I must say. The proper term is good day. However, you look like the mud that I scraped off of my boot. And your friends, well, one just relieved himself. I have even begun to battle, and yet my intent is weakening you. Tish, pathetic Nins. Shall we dance? The man said. The Jonin launched at the man, intending to end the fight quickly. Said man stood still and waited until the Nin got close enough. You are in my trap now. Razor wire can be very useful, I must say. However, you are scum. Goodbye. TGE man said as he snapped the wire. The Jonin only had seconds to confend his end before falling to pieces. The Chunin were too scared to move, so finishing them off was easy. Two snaps of razor wire and two heads hit the dirt. Weaklings. I must join the others, but first I think I'll take this along. Might find it useful. The man said, picking up the head of the Jonin. He then began walking towards the other group. A short distance away, the Kumo team was stopped. Even the Jonin leader was scared. A man in a long coat stood in front of him. The aura this man gave off was terrifying. The Jonin finally spoke. Move aside. We have a mission to complete. No. You are citing war against an ally. We have been sent to stop you. I personally do not want to kill you, but if you insist, well, you'll die. The man said. The Jonin frowned. We are dead either way. Our families will die if we don't complete this mission. If I could, I would flee. The Jonin lied. The man laughed. You lie. You have no families. Now, die like a warrior or like a worm. It matters not to me. The man said, pulling two Ling narrow blades from his belt. The team attacked with just you first. Kaden. Great Fireball. Sweden. Waterfall. Doden. Earthquake. The three cocked out at once. The man laughed as the attacks began. Yes, this is going to be fun. Now I can really cut loose. The man said, casting his coat aside. Long tattoos ran the length of his arms. The markings were in a form none of the Nins had seen before. Suddenly, they began to glow. Rune art. Full counter reflect, the man called out. The Nins were stopped by their own power, only the Jonin was alluve as the other two were destroyed on impact. He weakly spoke. What are you? We have never seen such as this. Lord Danzo must know. The Jonin said. The man smiled. Oh, he will. In time, when he divides to end his own life. As to your first questions, we are what nightmares are made of. We are a part of a group selected by the Lord of Nightmares himself to protect the innocent. Knowing my name matters not to you. I will tell you as you are vermin. Now I must return to my master. Ah, my friend is here. Say hello. And goodbye. The man said as he stabbed the man with his jeets. The other man shook his head. Tisk. Such weaklings. Well, we shall have to destroy the bodies. I kept one head for show. You want his? No, he was a fool. The spirits will deal with him accordingly. I hate having to take on a disguise like this, but it was in the best interest. Besides, it will keep them guessing. Let's return to our master and report. With that statement, the two men vanished, nothing but a bloody smear left of the Nins of Konoha. Velo's same day, Rania awoke to the darkness before the dawn. She had slept well enough. She hated killing, but with a soul so dark that it made a lich look innocent, she felt that the soul wanted to be free. Standing up from her bed, Rania surveyed her surroundings. Her bedroom was done in gentle colors of yellows, greens, and blues. It matched her strong yet gentle nature. The bed itself, however, was made of dark oak wood. The bedding was soft and made of silk and cotton. The rose-red color matched her fighting spirit. She really didn't need this big of a room, but Galen had insisted, as had Danik. She realized later that this put her over the gardens and smiled. Rania always walked in the garden if there was a difficult decision or battle the next day. This would allow her to do so without revealing herself to the enemy. She walked towards her bathroom to shower when she had a slight rap on the outer door. Swiftly, she picked up a jeet and walked to the sitting room, matched to the bedroom. Quickly, she opened a small hole to allow voices to be heard. "Yes," Rania said. A man answered on the other side. "I am sorry to interrupt your morning, Lady Rania, but a message has come for you from Sir Integra. I can bring it later if you wish." The messenger replied softly. Rania opened a slot in her door. "Put it though and be on your way," Rania said. Within seconds, a letter bearing the Helsing seal was in her hands. Rania closed the hole and walked to her desk in the room. Turning up the crystal light, Rania noticed that the letter was in Integra's fluent handwriting, a sure sign she sent it. Rania quickly went through the motions that ensure TGE letter was not poisoned or bore ill. Once done, she opened the letter and began to read. It read, "Lady Rania, it has come to my attention that the village of Konoha has done ills against you and Bellows. I take this as a personal insult, as you and I are food friends as well as allies. I sent out my agents and undercoveted a plot to ally Konoha, Kumo, and Iwa. As I know what would happen if the villages were to some way capture you, I took measures to ensure your safety. As a personal friend of the Helsing family, I had it handled by my best agents. However, one agent took it as an insult as well and has vowed to erase the insult. Rania, I know you can defend yourself against such rabble, however I am coming to Velos. I know that your family has gone there to you, but I have family within those children as well, and I will not let them be harmed. I swore on the death of my half-sister that her offspring would not fall into the darkness. I should be there the day of or after you receive this message. Please stay safe. With regards, Sir Integra Helsing. P.S. Tell that stick in the mud that I'm coming." Rania smiled. She decided to wait until after her meeting with the consul's guard and beginning Hinata's training to tell a certain Nin that his aunt was coming. Rania folded the letter and put it away. She knew that Integra would bring her agents Sarah's Victoria, Walter, and Alucard. Integra hated corruption with a passion. Her father had been killed by a corrupt family member. She herself barely escaped thanks to Alucard. Fearful of most people, Integra and her half-sister Inga left for the eastern lands with Alucard and Walter. They remained there for 7 years. Inga had met a man named Sumitashi. She was smitten by his approach to life. Quietly, Waihei married and returned to Konoha. Integra returned to the land of their births only to find out that she would be hunted. Searching for a missing noblewoman, Integra met Rania. The two were instant friends as they both believed the scum of the night should be destroyed. Alucard, in a rare show of respect, had bowed. Interested, Integra asked Rania why. Alucard answered that the bloody Hellion W pulled always have his respect. Remembering the name from her time in the East, Integra was impressed. Integra had been trying to contact her sister to no avail. Rania then told them of the war and that she would try find out about Ings for Integra. Rania frowned when she remembered having to tell Integra that her sister and her husband were dead and their daughter Anko missing. Integra then asked Evrian to leave her office and screamed her pain to the heavens. She then proceeded to locate Anko but failed due to politics. Rania sighed. Integra was going to be put at the fact that Anko was AT and Inin. Quickly, she showered and dressed for her day. The sun was just breaking the eastern sky when she exited her rooms and went to the main room. As always, She was the first one there. Galen would join them later, as would Danik. Rania proceeded to read the files and reports from the many kingdoms in the Alliance. A quiet opening of the door told her that Scarlet and Nathan was entering the room. "Good morning, Scarlet, Nathan. Are the others coming?" Rania said softly. Scarlet smiled. "Trent is on his way with Villas and Varen. Biha is still in her mission. So, just us 6 today. We need more members," Scarlet said. Rania looked up from the file to glare at Scarlet. "Scarlet, we are the active members. We possess skills and powers others do not. The Council has many enemies, from all walks of life. I am careful who I extend an invitation to. However, per last night's report, we now have a shinobi force to aid us in Velos," Rania said. Scarlet perked up. Nathan too seemed pleased. Just then, the door burst open to reveal Trent, bleeding. Scarlet went to help him as he entered the room. He said one word. "Liches. Liches." Rania went into battle mode. Scarlet was wrapping Trent's shoulder wound with bandages from the first aid kit that was available. Nathan looked at his commander. "Where and how many?" Rania asked. Trent looked at her. "It's safe to say that they are after the Nins. They were marching towards the south wall when we encountered them. Biha and Truya are holding them off. I tried to, but one of them got in a lucky strike. So, Biha told me to get you." Trent, pain lacing his voice. Rania jumped into high gear. "Scarlet, stay with Trent." "Nathan, with me," Rania said. Nathan nodded. Scarlet nodded as well. Rania and Nathan rode down the stairs and out the door into a minute. Rania was running full tilt as Nathan ran behind her. Rania felt another presence nearing them at a fast pace. She continued to run as the person caught up easily. "What's wrong?" Kakashi asked from his position beside her. Rania didn't spare him a glance but answered him. "Liches at the southern wall. I believe that your comrades are the targets," Rania replied. Kakashi's visible eye narrowed. "Damn, they won't know how to fight those things," Kakashi thought as they neared the gate. Outside the gate were the two women. One looked as though she was one of the fabled Amazonian women, tall and sinewy. The other was shorter but just as built. TGE undead liches were coming at them into droves. Rania quickly gave others. "Kill them before they reach the gate," Rania said, pulling her sword. Kakashi summoned 2 shadow clones to aid him. Nathan turned his whole body into iron and began crushing the liches. Rania was swiftly chopping them up. "Damn, where are they coming from? I can last out but the others can't," Rania thought. Just as one was going to skewer Kakashi in the leg, a large fist crushed the 5 behind them. Kakashi didn't look to see if it was friend or foe who killed them, until he felt someone was back to back with him. Kakashi glanced over his shoulder and smiled. "Hello Asuma, heard the noise?" Kakashi asked, taking out another lich. Asuma grunted. Had the team out training when Ino got a weird feeling. Decided to see what it was. "Where did all these liches come from?" Asuma asked. Choji was stomping or smashing them. Ino was trying to keep them away from the gate. She knew these things were evil. Ino looked as one had Shikamaru in a death grip. Ino rushed to help him. "What do I do to kill these monsters?" Ino thought. Ino felt a tickle in her head. Before she could react, a voice entered her head. "I am not going to hurt you. Aim for Lich's neck. It will not kill him but it will make him let go of your friend. Try removing the heads or slicing the spine. I will introduce myself later." Ino heard. Quickly, she sliced the lich's neck. It let go of Shikamaru, who immediately removed its head. "Thanks." Shikamaru wheezed out. Ino nodded. More were coming. Rania was surrounded by them. As she ducked one punch, she heard a very familiar voice. "Get down," Rania shouted. The group did just that as a wave of pink fire torched the liches, killing some. Scarlet had joined the party. She had called out to Rania at the last minute. Soon, the liches were attacking again. The liches were cackling until they were all trapped in mud. Rania looked to see two very pissed off Sanin and clan heads. Jiraiya had used his mud swamp just to stop them in their tracks. Choza, growing as big as Gamabuta, smashed them all to pieces. Rania, seeing the generator that brought them forth, pointed it out to Scarlet, who burned it to ashes. Tsunade, anger on her face, approached Rania. Rania sheathed her sword and met Tsunade halfway. Tsunade's face showed signs of anger and worry. Rania smiled. Hello Tsunade, good thing you guys came in time. That generator would have taken hours to find. Are the others okay? Rania asked. Tsunade shook her head. You could be injured too. Shikamaru has some broken ribs that unfortunately will have to heal on their own. Choji is tired, Asuma got a few cuts, Kakashi shouldn't be out of bed, and Ino is fine. How about you? Tsunade asked. Rania felt some bruises coming on but nothing some salve and a hot bath couldn't fix. Bruises? Nothing more. I think these things wanted us alive. I guess the bounty's gone up. Was 900 million last I checked. Rania said to Tsunade. Tsunade looked at her with determined eyes. When I check over the others, I will check you over as well. I am the medic here unless Dimtuus is going to check you. Tsunade said. Rania sighed. You win. Last time Doc checked me over, he put me in bed rest for 2 weeks. Over a stab wound. Rania said. Another voice broke into the conversation. You were stabbed in the side, bleeding heavily, and barely awake when I examined you for the wound. Rania, you tried to get up and fight. Rest is what you needed, said a man from behind them. Rania turned to face Dimtuus Service, Doc, to all of Velos. He was Tsunade's height but very slender with slender hands. Said hands could save or take a life. His pale blonde hair was in a braid halfway down his back. His lightly tanned skin and light blue eyes were a unique yet handsome look. Rania shook her head. No stab wounds this time, Doc. Bruises and soreness. Check the others. Rania said. The man sighed. Rania, you know that. I have to get checked. Tsunade will do it. I am not badly injured. I can walk on my own. The others sustained wounds that are in need of help. Did you check in Trent? She asked. Doc nodded. He didn't put up a fight. I cleaned and bandaged his wound. He appeared to be staring off into space. Doc said walking towards Biha, who was limping. Rania frowned. That moron. Ino approached them quietly. Lassie Tsunade, Lady Rania, would think I'm crazy if I told you I heard a voice in my head helping me. Ino asked. Rania smiled. No, that would be Trent. Would you like to meet him? Rania asked. Ino nodded. Rania led Ino away from the gate with Tsunade following. Once at the hall, Rania took them up a flight of stairs into the consul's guard meeting TM room. Trent sat there, shirtless, holding his head. Rania looked around for somebody else and seen a lit pipe smoking in the corner. Gakken quirked an eyebrow but said nothing. Trent Balboth, meet Ino Yamenka. Rania soughed. Trent looked at the girl smiling. It's nice to meet you, Ino. Sorry if I scared you but most telepaths can commune with mothers the way I communed with you. Didn't know Konoha had a telepath. Trent said softly. Ino stared. I'm not a telepath. I can't read minds. Ino said. Trent smiled. You can. You just don't know it yet. How do you think you knew to bring help? Liches are scared of telepaths. You have telepathic abilities. Your clan is a clan of mind walkers. Your ability could have manifested without your knowledge. However, without proper training, your abilities could be as lethal to your friends as your enemies. Abilities in ninja clans can evolve into stronger abilities. Trent said to Ino. Ino looked stunned. I could read minds and control people. How do I learn to do this? I don't want to kill my friends. Ino asked Trent. Trent smiled. Tomorrow, I will show you the basics. Like any mind walker, you know that you have to be careful of these abilities. Trent said. Rania interrupted. If you think that you are going to do the physical training, you are sorely mistaken. I know what happens when you use your telepathy when you have lost blood. You will be confined to rest, bed rest or sitting in a chair, until Dr. Tsunade deems you fit to start physical training. And don't say I can't enforce it, your wife and sister will. Sir Albus will too when he returns this evening. Rania said. Ino looked at her. The basics are simple rules that I can easily teach from a desk. I know my limits. Trent retorted. Rania smiled. I reckon so. The last time, we barely got you here before you passed out. You were in a coma for 2 weeks because you used your ability while injured. Rania replied. Trent scoffed. Tsunade stepped in. You need to rest. Ino, you need to talk to your parents. The good thing though is while you were arguing, I checked you over, Rania. Bruises are all you got, so I'll let you tend to those. Ino, let's go tell your father. I'll return shortly. Tsunade said, exiting the room. Rania looked at Trent. How strong if a telepath is she, Trent? Rania asked, helping Trent to his feet. Trent looked at Rania seriously. If she is properly trained, she would be as strong as me now. Trent said. Rania looked outward. So Danzo intended to keep the Konoha 12 rookies as root nins. This is interesting. Danzo must have known somehow. All this didn't start until after the Uchiha massacre. Wait a minute, could he have caused the massacre to steal their eyes? Of course. The only way to look into the mind is with the Uchiha eyes. Damn, I have got to talk to Galen. If Danzo did so, then he is the true power behind Konoha, not the Hokage. Then could he have found a way to control even the Sannin Orochimaru? Orochimaru didn't start those experiments until after a meeting with Danzo. Is it possible that there is a mind control over the snake Sannin? I must see if this so, and if it is, find a way to counter it. If so, what's to stop him from taking over the elemental nations, then the world? Rania thought, walking with Trent till they met up with Janna. Janna took Trent from Rania's grasp. Oh, Trent, you need to be in bed. Come along, Janna said, nodding to Rania. Rania returned her nod and headed towards the consul's office with a heavy mind. She heard footsteps behind her and turned to see her brother Danik running towards her. Are you all right? I am sorry I was at the port receiving Sir Integra. Once I heard what happened I came here. You are not injured, Danik said. Rania shook her head. Bruises. Trent took a hit to the shoulder, but other than that the wounds were minor. Rania said. Danik, knowing Rania, ran his hands over her arms. Rania sighed. Danik tended to overprotective of her as she was his sister by blood only. Danik finally let go when his power told him she had a couple of bruises. Rania smiled softly. I'm all right, see, we need to speak to Galen. I think I know why Danzo started this tirade. I think he started it years ago. She said. Danik looked at her questioningly. Rania opened the door to reveal Galen waiting behind the desk. Galen, I think Danzo has been pulling the strings from behind the scenes for decades. I think it only accelerated with the Uchiha massacre. I think Danzo has been controlling Orochimaru since that night. I think Danzo is someone we all know. Rania said. Galen looked at the two fighters. Who? We have many enemies alive and dead. Galen replied softly. Rania looked at Galen with a look that bordered on hatred. Danzo is working with Moran. Galen stared at Rania. Moran, he thought. Moran was dead, but his followers weren't. Danik too stared at his sister in blood. Rania, what makes you certain of this? Moran's aura is gone from this world. He couldn't return to this plane. Danik asked. Rania sighed. I believe that Danzo was and is a follower of Moran. I believe that he purposely caused a certain incident which set in motion the path we are on today. Danzo has been trying for years to usurp power from whoever he felt had the most power that he could benefit from. Root is his personal strike force, but Danzo himself is a force of power. He hates the third and fourth Hokages as well as anyone who would not bow to his whims. I also now possess proof that root Nin slaughtered the Uchiha clan, leaving only Itachi and Sasuke alive. Itachi, to save his brother, took the responsibility of the slaughter on his shoulders. These documents, his own handwriting, will prove that he caused it, with the approval of the daimyo himself. Rania said. Galen's calm green eyes began to swirl with anger. Danik was seething. Rania waited for the two to calm themselves before continuing. I also believe that Orochimaru is under some sort of genjutsu or other spell. Someone who fought for the exact opposite of what he is now. This reason for this is simple. Orochimaru is a Sannin. If you can control a Sannin of the leaf, nothing would be beyond your grasp. My thought is that Danzo intended to take over the slug and toad Sannin. But because of their strong wills, he had to eliminate them the only way he could do so legally. The daimyo hated Minato for one reason. Rania said, walking to the window. Galen was furious now. He had been considering allies in that region. His temper was held in check because he knew that it would cause trouble. Velos would answer such evil, in time. Danik, however, was curious of Rania's last statement. Why would a powerful man such as the daimyo hate a man he put in charge of his hidden village? Danik asked. Rania sighed. Minato had the one thing that daimyo wanted, Kushina. Imagine if she had married the daimyo. He would have her as his wife and his enforcer. He could have taken over the elemental nations. So when they returned as man and wife, the daimyo planned with Danzo and Atatsuki, misspelled, to overthrow Konoha. The Red Cloud men had their own mission, release Kyuubi. Danzo and daimyo, while planning, waited until the wounds had somewhat closed and then attacked. The Uchiha were first, then the Hyugas, Naruto and so on. To destroy a village, you take out its base. The Uchihas were a founding clan, the first besides the Senju, to settle. Shake the tree and the fruit will fall. Danzo then sought to enlist Itachi and Sasuke into a death game. Itachi put Sasuke under the genjutsu to save him. Naruto was protected though the Sandaime as well as the Hyugas and Inuzukas and by extension, me. Had Danzo ordered Naruto into Root, I would have razed Root HQ to the ground. Danzo got rid of those powerful enough to oppose the three allies. So, they will lick the wounds we give them and wait. I will see that the Nins are prepared for war. Naruto will learn of the one thing that makes him so powerful. And Galen will have to speak to the summons of Konoha and hopefully have them join us. Moran wanted chaos that he controlled. I will not let that happen. I have a meeting with Hinata Hyuga. She has asked me to train her in hand-to-hand combat. If she is as strong as I think she is, she will make one hell of a warrior. I should return mid-afternoon. Rania said, leaving the men to ponder her words. She walked down the stairs to find Hinata and another waiting on her. Hiashi Hyuga wanted to ensure that Hinata would be trained by someone capable of defending themselves. Sensei, this is my father, Hiashi Hyuga. He wished to speak with my teacher as is custom. I told him I had asked you to teach me but he insisted. Hinata said. Hiashi gulped. Rania's eyes were staring at him. He knew that Hinata had sought someone to train her outside the shinobis but didn't expect it to be Rania. Hiashi knew that his daughter was in capable hands. Hiashi glanced away briefly. Lord Hiashi, perhaps it is better to discuss things after Hinata and I have finished our session. I will be in my office around 4. I am sure that you will be surprised with Hinata's growth. Rania said, smiling. Hiashi nodded. Yes, lady. It would be best to discuss such as Hinata's training in a more business-like form. Hinata, I will leave you to train. I expect that you will be very good soon. We may not be part of a village but we are shinobi Hyugas. It is our right to be so. Good day, lady, Hiashi said, walking away with Ko. Hinata began to poke her fingers together. Rania looked at her. Hinata would need to build up herself as well. Rania walked down the steps with Hinata, heading towards the arena. Once there, Rania opened a gate to reveal a small training ground. Hinata was nervous. Tell me, Hinata, what do you know of the art of Taipei? Rania said. Hinata spoke. Nothing. I only know the gentle fist. Well, let's see which is easy for you, Taipei or gentle fist. Rania said, facing Hinata, gulped and got in her stance. Here I come. Rania said and charged. Hinata gulped again. I must be willing to accept new challenges. I will prove that I am a good warrior. Hinata thought as she charged at Rania, hoping to at least land a hit. Konoha. Danzo was furious. The only way that the daimyo would even consider his request was for the Konoha Council to request a meeting on neutral ground with Velos. Wave Country had already agreed to host the summit, but was turned down. Sumua, a small island that traded with all corners of the world, agreed on the condition that Konoha W pulled not try to infuse the small nation into Fire Country. The Fire Daimyo agreed to the demands. Danzo, Orochimaru, and a number of civilians would attend. Velos had yet to state the intent to attend. Danzo had hoped that they would turn it down, but the letter in his hands proved him wrong. It reads, Hokage, Advisors, and Council of Konoha. We of Velos will gladly accept your offer of talks on Sumua. Velos will honor the non-hostile act unless the envoys and guards of Velos are attacked. As for the attendees, there is a list below. A letter of intent has also been sent to Sumua and the Fire Daimyo as proof our intentions. Good day. Consul Galen Abuska. Attendees. Consul Galen Abuska. Lady Rania Sangru. Lord Danik Blackridge. Lady Biha Nodias. Inquest Master Janu Nodias. Inquestor Xavier Tomasa. Enforcer Trey Gauss. Danzo smiled. So the leader of Velos is coming to the summit himself. Perhaps I can take him Iver and get him to agree to turn over Velos to me. Danzo left for the ship unaware that his own pride would cause great trouble for the mummy. Veloshinata Hyuga was panting. Her Genki fist style of fighting hadn't even landed a punch. Rania, using Taipei, had blocked all of the attacks without using chakra. Hinata once again took her stance. However, Rania was at ease. She smiled. That's enough of sparring. Now tell me, Hinata, what did you learn from this lesson? Rania asked. Hinata thought for a moment. I learned that even if my clan style is a dominate trait, there is always another style or art that can defeat it. Chakra enforced or not, Hinata said softly. Rania nodded. She was surprised at Hinata's ability but could see where the Hyuga elders hampered her. Rania personally would ensure that Hinata learned how to fight in more than the gentle fist style. Rania walked Iver to Hinata and laid her hand on the girl's shoulder. You can be a great shinobi. The gentle fist is a fighting style based on the chakra and sharp movements. Your style is like water, smooth and flowing. Besides, someone has been watching us from the start, haven't you, Naruto? Rania asked. Naruto jumped down from his viewing place, grinning sheepishly. He had felt some chakra and had come to investigate it. Seeing a lesson, he simply watched the two spar. Hinata was blushing a bright red. Naruto, you seen me spar? Hinata asked. Naruto grinned. Yeah, Hinata, you are going to be a great shinobi. Besides, you got great teachers. Believe it, Naruto said. Hinata was elated. Naruto believes in me, so I will believe in myself. Hinata vowed. Rania spoke up. Naruto, did anyone else come with you? I wanted to show you what I promised, but if you came alone, the point is mute. Rania said. Naruto shrugged. The others are probably on their way here. I think that Shino had a bug watching us. I think they are being overprotective of the root attacks. Naruto said softly. Rania nodded. Within the space of a few minutes, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Kakashi, Itachi, Kisame, Hidan, Kakuzu, Asuma and the rest showed up. Sakura was standing between Itachi and Sasuke, just in case. Rania smiled. Alright, Naruto, I am going to teach you something that is going to rock your world. You know how to summon, correct? Rania asked. Naruto nodded. What is your summons? Ero Sennin let me sign the Toad contract. Naruto said proudly. Rania smiled. Okay. Channel chakra like you are summoning and say, Kurama. Rania said. Naruto placed his hand on the ground. Summoning Justu. Kurama. Naruto said. A giant puff of smoke appeared in front of the group. As soon as it cleared, a huge fox was seen. Kyuubi. Tsunade said, slightly afraid. The fox began to laugh. Freedom. At last. Time to die. Kyuubi yelled. Rania, unfazed, called to him. Kyuubi, do you remember me? Rania asked. The giant fox growled. No, all mortals are weak. Cannon fodder for us chakra demons we. Kyuubi stopped as a power was felt. Memories, long hidden, came to the surface. Kyuubi's eyes, burning red, then began to lessen in color. He remembered Kushina, his second vessel. The baby growing within, Minato, he remembered attacking Konoha and being imprisoned. Most of all he remembered her. Kyuubi then looked at the group. He sat down and tucked his head between his two front paws. The guilty dog look. I done some bad things, didn't I? Kyuubi said softly. Naruto looked at him. None of the shinobis understood. Rania spoke. You were not yourself. Kushina often said that you would rather kill yourself than cause harm to those you cared about. The sage of the six paths created you to protect 9 families. Someone tricked you, Q. I think you better turn into another form before you freak out these guys anymore. Rania said. Kyuubi nodded. His body began to glow red and change shape. As soon as the red aura cleared, a surprising sight awaited the gathering. Kyuubi had taken a human form. He was tall and well built, muscles ripping down his arms and chest. His fire-red hair was long and made into 9 ponytails that touched the ground. He had tanned skin and red eyes. But the most amazing thing about him is that he was devilishly handsome. The young girls were amazed. Kyuubi looked at the group. What? I took my human form. Why are they looking at me like that? He asked. Rania was laughing. I think they thought you would be an old man, Q. Besides, I don't think any here know of the true reasons for your family existence. Maybe you should tell them. Rania said. Kyuubi looked at the group. Tsunade was tapping her foot. Jiraiya was writing in a book. Rania smiled. Jiraiya, you better not be writing something perverted. Tsunade growled. Jiraiya grinned. Ahem, the reason I was inside a human, Kyuubi began called all attention to him, is that without a human vessel we cannot survive. The sage created us to be protectors, but over time some went power hungry. I was given to the Uzumaki clan because of their stubbornness. Mito Uzumaki Senju was my first vessel, Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze my second vessel, and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze as my third vessel. 9 families were chosen. Uzumaki, Ni, 2 clans from Cloud, Subaku, and some from smaller villages. We were protectors, allies of the Nin, but some began to question themselves. The 2 tails and 1 tail were forced away from their former host. Vessels are important, Kyuubi said. Naruto looked at Rania. My mother and grandmother was a Jinchuriki too. Why didn't anyone tell me? Why am I always in the dark? Naruto said. Kyuubi answered. Kit, you were kept in the dark because of one important reason. Your father was the Yellow Flash. He killed 300 IWA nins in less than 15 minutes. A bounty was placed on his head. Can you imagine what would have happened if the Iwa nin knew of you? Even the Sandaime wouldn't have been able to protect you. Politics would have been played and you either handed over or banished. He said, laying a hand on Naruto's shoulder. Sasuke was standing beside Naruto now. He felt Naruto's grief. We are brothers, Sasuke thought. Kakashi watched with a careful eye. Kyuubi smirked. It seems the terror of Konoha has grown up. Humph, at least Danzo can be killed now. Kyuubi said, smirking at Kakashi. Rania once again started laughing. Naruto, you are a prankster. Yet someone got the name, Terror of Konoha, by pranking the daimyo. Care guess who did it? And who helped? Rania said. Naruto looked dead at Kakashi. Kakashi just smiled. Yosh. My eternal rival's youth burns bright. I will run 300 laps on my hands. Guy shouted. Lee joined him in a hug. A sunset appeared behind them as they hugged. Kakashi just shook his head. Kakashi sensei, you pranked the fire daimyo? Sakura asked. Kakashi turned to her. Yes, but I had help. As in Minato sensei and Kushina-chan helping me. We decided that the daimyo needed to pull TGE, stick out of his ass. Kushina thought it up, Minato sensei planned it, and I executed it. Even the Sandaime laughed. Heck, Danzo laughed. Kakashi said. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all seen Kakashi in a different light, that of an older brother. Itachi was smiling too. That was epic. No one could find the prankster. Now I know why, Itachi said softly. Kisame was looking at the Konoha group with a different light. I wish I had been born in this group, but at least now I have friends. Kisame thought. Rania looked at Kisame. You were one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. Like Zabuza Momochi? Rania asked. Kisame nodded. Just then, whirling was heard. Hearing the noise, the group crouched down, ready to attack. A dull thunk was heard as something big hit a wood post. Kakashi smiled as Rania motioned for them to get up. 2 figures were above them, standing on a sword that looked like a cleaver. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Sai smiled. The other shinibi were still on guard until one figure spoke. Long time, no see, Kisame. You still weak. The man said. Kisame looked in awe. He died in wave. No, weakness is for punks. Where have you been hiding? Zabuza. Zabuza turned around, Haku at his right. Kakashi smiled at the nin. I see you have been doing well, Zabuza. Hello, Haku. Kakashi said. The Sandaime turned to Kakashi. Explain why you lied on an official report. Maybe then one of my students won't blow a gasket. He told Kakashi. Kakashi nodded. Flashback. Kakashi faced Zabuza with his eye uncovered. He really didn't want to fight him but had no other choice. I really don't want to fight you, Zabuza. I respect people's beliefs and choices. Do you really think Gato will pay up? He'd double the bounty on your head. My job is to protect this bridge, the workers, and my students. Your companion doesn't want to kill. She is a medic, isn't she? Why fight for someone like Gato? Kakashi asked Zabuza. Zabuza stared back with equal determination. Gato is paying well for this job. I need the money to disappear until Mist can be reformed or destroyed. I will not let my little sister be hunted like an animal. All because she is an ice user, our mother's bloodline. My father killed my mother and forced Haku to kill him. She ran and I found her. I won't allow her to be taken away. I will kill 100 to protect her. Zabuza said, anger in his voice. Kakashi remained quiet for a moment, then he spoke. What if I told you there is a place for people like Haku? Where their skills are tampered to the finest. Where you can take missions and live like a normal nin? Kakashi asked. Zabuza shook his head. There is no such place. He replied. Kakashi shook his head. Haku had just stopped Sasuke from attacking her when a great chakra pressure was felt. Kakashi paused. Hold that thought. Chakra repression seal X4. Kakashi said, taking a scroll from his pouch. The pressure faded. Zabuza looked at Kakashi then. That chakra could have been used to kill Haku, yet you stopped it. Why? Zabuza asked. Because I don't believe in killing those who could be your allies. Besides, Naruto likes Haku. He understands what is it like to be hated. Kakashi said. Zabuza looked at Kakashi. Even if we were to go to this place, we would be hunted and slaughtered. I want my sister to be free. Zabuza replied. Kakashi smiled. Can you make a blood clone of yourself and Haku? Kakashi asked. Zabuza stared at the copy nin. Yeah, why? Well, if you're dead, you can't be hunted. I personally like your ideals. I can always say that me and my team defeated you and killed you and Haku. End of story. Kakashi said. Zabuza looked thoughtful. If that is true, how will you convince the Kage of your village? Zabuza said. Kakashi spoke again. I'll lie. My friend will see that you two will be safe. There you can take on missions like a nin. So what say you? When can we leave? Zabuza said. Kakashi smiled. It was going to be the beginning of a friendship. End flashback. Tsunade looked at Kakashi. Of course Minato's student would think of that. Still, you lied on an official report. That could have meant that you could be suspended. But, seeing how you stopped the attack and made an ally, I would have overlooked it. Tsunade said. Rania shook her head. The third merely looked at his student. Tsunade, Kakashi did as a ninja should. Killing the enemy is supported but making an ally is better. Besides, Zabuza has been aiding in the fight against Orochimaru. The third said. Tsunade nodded. Orochimaru's takeover of Konoha and Sand was unexpectedly easy, thanks to Danzo. Danzo now had plenty of willing subjects to induct into Root. The Hokages had tried to stop him but was often guided away. Kyuubi spoke. Danzo is mine. He's caused enough trouble. I will kill him, Kyuubi said, standing beside Naruto. Naruto knew Kyuubi hated Danzo. Another voice cut in. Well, killing him is on the agenda, meeting with him is what the Konoha Council wants. Galen said. Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Rania looked at Galen. They answered. Well, that's unusual however not unexpected. They want their, property back. Rania said, her words ringing clear. You mean me and Kyuubi? Naruto said softly. Rania nodded. Kyuubi was seething until Rania spoke up. You are my blood kin, as is Tsunade and the Uchiha brothers. The Shodai wrote a treaty agreement that stands to this day. Anyone possessing a blood tie to any leader of Velos cannot be forced away from Velos. Any nin, banished or missing, can claim refuge here as long as they agree to aid Velos. Rania said. Naruto shook his head. But you aren't a leader, you're just a fighter. Naruto said. Rania smiled. Let me formally introduce myself. Rania Sagru, Commander General of Velosian Military and Navy, Commander of the Consul's Guard, and second in command of the Velosian Alliance. I only answer to Galen. Rania said. Naruto looked amazed. He'd never thought that his cousin would hold such a position. He could help protect those he cared for. Sasuke stood with his mouth slightly open. She could have pulled rank en route anytime. Now I know my path is with my teammates. Sasuke thought. Jiraiya was grinning. Hey, Ero Sennin, you better not be thinking dirty thoughts about my cousin. Naruto yelled. Jiraiya shook his head. No, just thinking that Orochimaru and Danzo are gonna be in for a surprise when they can't get you in a workday of hurt if they do. Jiraiya said. Arasune then said that she would like to talk with the nins alone. Rania and company excused themselves. Rania was walking towards the large gate when a shadow stopped her. Rania turned to the shadow and smiled. You know, I could kill these maggots that are bothering you. I'm sure my master would love to see such vermin destroyed, the voice said. Rania shook her head. No, that man's life will not be snuffed out so easily. He will pay for his crimes and I will deal the cards. Have you settled in? Rania said. The shadow nodded. Yes, my master awaits you in your office. She heard of you meeting with this Danzo and is not pleased. I look for them to try something. Hopefully, they'll balk and we will be able to find a way to destroy Danzo and Orochimaru. Rania said. The shadow began walking beside her. Snake Man is going to be there. I request permission to kill his little boy toy Kabuto personally. I have a score to settle with that scum. Really? What did he do? Rania asked. The shadow figure turned to Rania with a fiery look. He almost killed Sarah's and Walter. They are my family. I will kill him for touching my daughter and for almost killing my brother in arms. I will have no mercy for he deserves none. The figure said, venom in his voice. Rania whistled. Alucard, remind me never to get on your bad side. Konoha. Orochimaru sat on his throne, which was Anki the Hokage's chair behind the desk. The Sand Village was all too eager to rid themselves of Gaara and his family. Now, they could be the best. Orochimaru turned power over to one of his loyalists in Sand. Danzo had wanted the seat, but he was needed here. A nin entered the room. He waited until Orochimaru spoke. Speak. Orochimaru hissed. The nin spoke quickly. My lord, it has come to attention of the daimyo that you have received the list of attendees for the summit in 2 days' time. Have you made any decision as to your own attendees? These are the words of the daimyo. The nin stated. Orochimaru grinned. He motioned for one of his guards to bring Danzo and the elders of the council. Within minutes, Dasno, Ukatane, and Hormora were present. The daimyo is awaiting our answer as to who our attend will be. I give it now. There will be no summit. Once the attendees for this so-called nation appears, TGEY will be arrested for aiding missing nins. Everything they have will be ours and we will be emperor. That is our ruling. Orochimaru hissed out. Danzo and the elders nodded. The nin nodded. I shall relay your message to the daimyo. The nin said, exiting the room. Root escorted him to the gate. The nin walked to the forest, then jumped into the trees, but instead of running, the nin paused. Good thing Lady Rania sent me, TGE nin thought. Root appeared. Why have you not left yet, nin? Are you plotting an attack? The captain said. The nin responded. No, the colors of nature are always stunning, I just have to take a look. It is amazing gee how this beauty can turn deadly. The nin replied. The captain grunted. Be off with you. Enjoy the view elsewhere. Root said. The nin turned and jumped away, knowing that the Root Anbu would follow. Once safely away from sensors of battle, the nin hopped down to meet with his unit. A young man dressed in a kimono holding a sword, a little girl with white hair, and a boy whose eyes were covered. The nin spoke. 7 have followed. Are we to target them or let them attack us, Kenshin? The nin said. Kenshin looked up. This one was told only to protect and defend if attacked. They attack first, we defend. Kenshin replied softly. He wore a purple-colored kimono with white pants. The girl with white hair spoke. Do you want Luca and me to fight or stay? The girl asked. Defend yourself. Lyra, where is your pup? Kenshin asked. Naki looked around only to see a little black spot to her left. Her Gellert pup, Aaron, was looking at the trees. Lyra smiled. Liern's pup, Soilol, was looking too. Soon, 7 Root dropped down. Our leader Danzo wishes for you to come with us. No excuses. The Root. Nin said. Kenshin stood up. This one thinks that you are not good people. This one will not go. Kenshin stated. Root Nin looked at them. Does that go for all of you? You agree not to go willingly. Our leader has spoken. We will return home. Good day. The Nin said. The Root Nin attacked. They surrounded the small group. I'll take the blind kid. Then I'll help you. One said, looking at Luca. Luca shrugged. Soleil at his side. One looked at Lyra. I got white hair girly. A female said. The other 5 split up. 2 went to the Nin and 3 went to Kenshin. Kenshin sighed. This one warns you. You will die. Kenshin said. The Root Nins charged. Kenshin, using his sheath, slammed into the Root Nins. They hadn't been expecting an attack like that, so they fell down. One pulled a kunai and launched it at Kenshin. Kenshin deflected it with his sword, spinning it harmlessly into a tree. The other 2 began to move their hands into justice, only to find bloody stumps where their hands used to be. Shocked, they tried attacking with their feet only to be cut in half before they could even launch into the air. The Root captain stood in front of Kenshin now. As long as I stay away from your sword, you can harm me. Kaden, Great fireball, Gurk. The captain started but was cut short when another sword cut his head from his shoulders. Kenshin smiled. The newcomer shook his head. You still have a lot to learn, Baka Deshi, the huge man said. This one is glad Shiso came. Kenshin said. Meanwhile, the root nins were getting slaughtered. The one who faced Luca had not taken the dog into account. He had used his knowledge on the Inuzuka clan to fight the boy. He immediately targeted the boy, thinking that the puppy would attack first. Once he was in striking distance of the boy, he lashed out with a kunai only to be met with a curved sword of sorts. The nin tried to push the boy backwards and off his feet only to be met with force equal to his own. The nin growled in fury. I will not be bested by a blind brat. Die Sweden. Water dragon. The nin cried out. A huge water dragon came crashing down towards Luca. Luca spoke. Soleil, it is time to end this, yes. Mirror attack 4. Luca cried out. As he did so, Soleil's fur glowed as bright as the sun, forming a mirror. The dragon hit only to be sent back 4x as powerful to the root nin. The nin screamed as the water hit him with the force of a tsunami. Once the water cleared, the nin's crushed and mangled corpse ignited. Luca turned to help Lyra but it was not needed. Lyra's attacker had charged in head first, intent on killing her with one blow. Lyra smiled as she ducked under the nin and gave her an uppercut. The female root flew about 6 feet before sliding into a tree. Lyra looked at Eren. Without speaking, Eren and Lyra attacked as one, killing the nin before she could even move into a defensive stance. She walked over to where her brother was. The mystery nin attacked TGE root nins first. They moved in a blur of hands and feet. Hits were landed. The mystery nin decided to end the fight. Without warning, he pulled back his hood to reveal his face and eyes. The root nin were stunned. You, was their last words as his ran them through with a tanto. The nin then covered his face and turned to the group. This one thinks a quick departure is in order. Shall we? Kenshin said as all gathered around the nin. The nin merely smiled at Shishun them away, leaving burning bodies for the Sekidori team to find moments later. Leader is going be mad was the thought on the 7th root team as they returned to Konoha empty-handed. None wanted to face his wrath since the appearance of these new warriors. The leader of the 2nd team knelt in front of Danzo. All dead, leader. What are your orders? The nin asked. Danzo was filled with rage. What kind of fighters can kill my root? I will have them under my control. Danzo thought. Keep me informed of any nin coming to Konoha. Recover the bodies. Danzo said. The nin spoke again. The suicide just you activated. The bodies are ash. Do you want us to recover the ashes? No. Return to your posts. Danzo growled and the nins left quickly. I will rule over these nations. And set my master free of the cage that he has been put in. Kopus will not be stopped and will not rest until all the world is covered in darkness and fear. Long live Moran. Danzo thought going to his home to sleep and dream of his master. In the forests to the south, Kenshin, Luca, Lyra, Hiko, and the mystery nin were making time to reach their destination. Quickly, they saw a small silver ship awaiting them. This one thinks that these nins are insane. We need to inform our friends of our discovery. Kenshin said. Hiko nodded. We need to make time. What would you have done if you had been discovered by Root? Hiko asked the nin. The nin replied. I would have killed anyone who found out. I will not follow a village that banishes innocent nins. The nin replied. Hiko nodded. When are you going to show yourself to the others? Lady Rania said it was your choice. Hiko asked. The nin shook his head. I will when I think they can handle it, Hiko. I am scared that I will be scorned for the choices I had to make, but I had no other choice. The nin replied. Hiko looked at the nin, now that they were on board the ship. The nin was leaning against the railing, looking towards TGE South. Will you blame me, hate me? How can I face you after what happened? How can you trust me again? Perhaps. Time heals all wounds, but what will you do when one is reopened? I can only pray that you can forgive me for deceiving you and maybe we can be close once again. The nin thought, looking southward, readying for a meeting that was coming and hoping that the choice made was right. Author's poll. Who do you want this mystery nin to be? Nawaki, Minato, Dan, Hayate, Hazashi, Kushina. Leave a review with your choice. The nin will be revealed in grand fashion. Velos. Rania walked beside Alucard into the consulate going towards her office. The door was ajar and voices floated out. Rania looked at Alucard, who was smiling. Opening the door, Rania found Integra, Sarah's, and Walter awaiting her. Integra was smoking one of her cigars while Walter poured tea for them. Rania spoke. You made good time, Integra. I am hoping your news is good. What did you find out about the mysterious happenings on planet Earth? For reference, I am making the Naruto and Velos worlds on a different planet for another FIC I intend to write. Rania asked. Integra frowned. Her glasses hid her eyes. Walter had brought over the cups for tea. Integra spoke. I wish it were good news. All sources point to a dark power causing all this mystery. The power is growing daily and seeks out the strongest warriors to supplement their power. Sources also indicate that there are warriors to match this darkness. I believe that they are not aware of this growing power of darkness. It will be a while before the darkness has enough power to collect warriors for its cause. Now, I see that you have brought your cousins here. Trouble in Konoha? Integra asked. Blue eyes locked on blue-red. Rania looked at Integra. Of all the people who had been thrown out of their own worlds, Integra was the least deserving of banishment. She kept vampires and ghouls at bay for years until a foolish noble brought her up on witchcraft charges and had her banished. She gathered her friends and allies and fled. She wandered for years before meeting Rania and finding a new purpose. Roots leader Danzo was able to get my cousins banished and placed a large bounty on their heads. Galen contacted them about talks of PWAs, but I think that they will go for war. Danzo is one of Moran's followers. That alone makes him dangerous. I sent a small group to inquire about the ones that will meet for the talks and expect them back today. I believe the answer will be to capture or kill the consul, causing war. If it is a meeting of leaders, Orochimaru as well as a follower, Kabuto, will be there. I will be going personally if Galen goes. Rania said, looking at Alucard. Alucard's face had taken on a terrifying look. Sarah's, who had been standing beside him, held onto him. Walter too held still. I will kill that man for his crimes. Alucard growled. Rania nodded. Integra looked like she could rip someone apart. That name was taboo. Rania spoke again. They will not accept anything but full surrender, and neither will I. Those Creatans have destroyed too many lives, and I promise, their blood will stain my blades, even if it takes me a lifetime to do it. Rania said, venom in her voice. Integra nodded. What do you wish for us to do about the mysterious problems on Earth? Old send. Integra began. Rania shook her head. Nothing as of yet. We need to focus on the here and now. Danzo is an immediate threat. If this other threat arises, we will act. Now, you go rest. I have another appointment in an hour. Rania said. Walter, Sarah's, and Alucard exited the office. Integra motioned to them that she would follow. Integra turned to Rania. Is he here? I have to know. Integra asked. Rania nodded. Integra looked at her. Does he know about me? That I'm his mother. That I had to leave him because of my own past? Integra asked. Rania shrugged. I do not know if he was told that his mother is alive. I only know that he strives to prove himself to his students. It is not my place to tell him. It's yours and your choice. Rania said. Integra gazed out the window, looking at the gardens. She left her son in the care of the village that his father lived in. When word of his father's death reached Integra, she locked herself in her room for days, mourning and fighting with the Konoha Civilian Council to retain her son, but they had cut her off. Integra looked at Rania. At least I know he had a great teacher. I wish I had never left him, but those damn witch hunters. He will hate me, I'm sure of it. Integra said. Rania laughed. I believe that he will be overjoyed that his mother is Alluve and cared enough about him to protect him. And don't go all, I'm a failure, on me, Integra Helsing, I know better. Rania said. Integra was at the door when she turned around and spoke. You forgot one. Hitaki. Integra Helsing Hitaki. She said, exiting the room. Rania smiled. Well, Kashi, your mom is interested in repairing your relationship. I wonder what you are going to do when you find out that the greatest vampire hunter in ages is your mom. Rania thought, turning to the papers on her desk. Hiko, Kenshin, Luca, Lyra, and the Nin disembarked the ship and made their way to Rania's office. Hiko knocked once. Come in, Rania called. Hiko's party entered the office. Rania looked at them. Well, what did they decide? Rania asked. The Nin answered. They intend to lure the Velosian party there, arrest them on trumped-up charges, and then declare war. They still have the better than anyone ego. I personally think that whoever goes to this meeting should be armed to the teeth. The Nin said. Rania looked at the group. She knew that they would try to overtake any powerful person. She knew that they would say that Velos attacked first. But they didn't know that she figured on this. Rania wasn't second in command because of her fighting skills, but because of her thinking skills. Konoha was arrogant. Arrogance caused wars. She would have to tread carefully now. The daimyo didn't care as long as dues were paid. If Konoha started a war, Velos would be in the thick of it. No, the meeting would occur, just not with the intended guests. Rania spoke to Hiko. You did well. This news is expected. The meeting will occur. Rania said. What? The group said. Rania raised a hand to silence them. As I said, the meeting will happen, however neither I, Galen, or Danik will be going. I have someone in mind who will fit the part perfectly. Rania said. The group eased up. Of course, Rania wouldn't allow that to happen. She smiled. Care to tell us? No, Hiko, I will wait until I am sure they will do it. Besides, all of you are tired. Go get some food and rest. Rania said. Hiko and party left the room, except the Nin. The Nin looked at Rania. They don't know yet that you are alive, as I told you, it is your choice to tell them. Rania said. The Nin looked at her. I just walk in and say hi. I wouldn't even be allowed to speak. The Nin said. Rania was going to speak when a knock sounded at the door. Before Rania could tell the Nin to leave another way, they opened the door. Hiyashi Hyuga stood there in shock as his eyes met a Nin thought long dead. One word escaped his mouth. You.